Greetings, fellow initiates, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Worshippers of Cthulhu, Episode 2, Conquering Islands. So now that I have a corn plantation, I am going to build a corn cooker. The corn cooker allows you to cook the corn for consumption, and I'll put that here. Working in the corn cooker, only one person, Abner, has a corn specialization, so I will put in 2 other corn growers, and then 2 people that want to work with sheep farm. I only have 1 unemployed person now. How often can you carve people? I was actually about to show you. There is a cooldown for carving people. There are things that you can do to change the cooldown later on, like decrees, but that's a bit further in the game. But you can't just keep carving people up over and over and over again. And it's also worth noting that if you screw up a carving, you can't recarve the same person. So the one that I screwed up down here,
Worship the Great One.
Peabody, Miss Peabody here, is permanently going to have the stained glass maker carving in her. Not a big deal. It just limits her maximum zeal. So if you take a look at her compared to her other 2 coworkers, she has 10 less zeal, and that difference will increase over time as they become even higher level. But zeal is not a big deal, so min-maxing it isn't all that important.
Your entreaties found favor, and thus came the reward. Now your god hungers for another offering. You flourish, multiply, and putrefy. Capture those lacking ambition. Lead them to the abyss as a sacrificial gift, and your wisdom shall be pardoned.
Map. The map allows you to quickly gauge the situation around your land. To open it, hit the left side UI or M. M works too.
High Priest, we must navigate the depths to claim distant shores and reach the unenlightened souls chosen to satisfy the hunger of our deity.
Let's invoke the primordial might of our Lord's abyssal servant, Azathiel, to extend our dominion over further realms.
So it wants me to build a summoning ritual site. It's also worth noting now that I have supplied cooked corn for just about everyone, that our faith income is considerably higher. So a summoning ritual site will cost more Eldritch favor, which then means I need to do another Eldritch ritual. So let's kick one off now. I do not have the materials for the more complicated ritual, which requires robes, which I don't produce, and excess cooked corn, which I do not have. But we can work towards trying to obtain those excess materials to be able to do the more efficient rituals later on. Question for you all. Which to do first? Summoning ritual or provide robes? So with the Eldritch favor that I unlock, I can do one of those 2 things, which should be the priority. So providing robes will increase the faith income, and the summoning ritual, of course, will allow me to attack on the world map. So I'll open up the world map here. So here's Dream Shroud, where we start off. And in this world map, actually, I'm going to pause. One thing that bothers me a little about this game is when you're in the map, it doesn't pause the game. So if you mouse over an island, it will show you the special resources and ritual sites of that island. So Dream Shroud, where we are, has a sacrifice altar, an ascension altar, a beacon altar, sand, raw iron, pylons. It has planks, wood, cow farm, and steak bonuses. Blacksand Isla has sheep, corn ale, corn plantation, and tomato plantation bonuses, but is not good for wood or planks. It also has a dream spire. It has sandstone, raw iron, and coal. And of course, there are other islands as well. This is what feels a lot like ANNO, where in ANNO you had different islands with different strategic resources, and a huge part of the game was to conquer and colonize those islands to obtain those resources to share between all of your individual islands. All right. You guys want me to provide robes? Let's just say you voted sort of. Because looking at Blacksand Island, they have a bonus to sheep. And given that they have a bonus to sheep, it would be probably better if I did sheep farming on that island so that I got that bonus. So I will provide robes, but we're going to have to conquer Blacksand Island first. Sorry that I misled you. But I unlocked both. Alright. So here's a summoning ritual site. And the summoning ritual site allows you to summon eldritch horrors, which can wage war for you. With that in mind, corn would be better grown at Blacksand Island 2. So I can move the corn plantations over there once I have that island colonized. Summoning horrors. Each horror invoked with summoning ritual site requires a pylon to be controlled. Starting the ritual requires sacrificing a specific number of materials and designating followers for exaltation.
Summoning as a fear demands offerings of both materials and lives willingly surrendered.
Alright, so if we take a look here, before we summon, we need a pylon to allow us to control the Eldritch Horror. Let's build one. Looking at the research tree, the pylon costs 15 favor. I only have 9, so we're going to have to do another
High Priest,
sacrifice.
A group of your acolytes have beheld something in the distant waters. Bless them with your presence, and they will unveil its nature.
Your people point towards a ship slowly cleaving through the encroaching mist. One man who arrived on the first vessel kneels before you, assuring you that he recognizes the craft. They too were dreamers, prepared to set sail when his crew departed, with many more to follow. Suddenly he falters as something falls from the approaching ship, vanishing into the thick fog surrounding it. Our Lord beckons, let them come. Waves of followers. New followers will arrive at your ship on a timer. The timer in the top UI shows how much time is left until the next follower wave arrives. Wave size can be modified with the beacon altar and fanaticism. Fanaticism can also impact wave time.
High Priest, our Lord grants visions, beckoning people to our shores.
Let us gather.
Alright, let's kick this off.
Awaken.
They have arrived, the first of the faithful, beckoned to us by the grace of our God. Let us make the best use of this gift. Harness their toil and worship to strengthen our cause.
The dude just really wants salted clams. All right, Eldritch Favor obtained. Pylon unlocked. Blood Drainer also unlocked. So here are the pylons. This starting island has 2 pylon locations. I don't, at the moment, have enough planks to build one, but I will in just a second. And of the new people, it might be worth employing them as clam collectors, so I provide enough clams for everybody, and to make sure that if any of them have specializations that align, that they're hired. So, for instance, the one that I falsely carved can be fired in lieu of Asphodel Pym, who is a clam collector, and I'll look at the other employment. With that said, and this is really important, trying to min-max everybody's professions is, like, in my opinion, way more effort than it's worth. And I really only do it early game because of the early game bonuses. Later in the game, when you're trying to manage a lot of people, I just say the hell with it, I don't care. Figured it was worth saying that out loud. Because it ultimately doesn't matter all that much. Okay, so we have the pylon controlled. So, summoning a swift and fragile horror that attacks foes from afar. It has range, movement speed, attack power, damage per second, and attack cooldown. In order to do it, I need blood. So, we are going to build a sheep farm on this starting island anyway, even though I was going to do it on the other island, so that we can drain the sheep of blood to summon a horror.
Oblivion.
Oh, and the ceremony cooldown is off cooldown. So, let's see. I'm going to carve up this person to be a corn cooker. So the corn cooker pattern looks like this. Let's see if I can get this one right. I did it! Congrats, you're a corn cooker now. You cook corn.
Worship the Great One.
And there she is. Alright, working in the sheep farm. We have 2 people with sheep farm specializations. Perfect. Hired. And then as soon as I have 10 planks, I'll build the blood drainer. There we go. Now, the main advantage, in my opinion, of the carving ritual is the added fanaticism, because 15 fanaticism is quite a lot of fanaticism, given that all of the small choices that you all have made have been like 5 or 10 fanaticism, thereabouts. So like 15 in one ritual is pretty good.
Workers, oh, we obey. We will.
Alright, everybody is currently employed, and I have a blood drainer now with 4 people in it, draining sheep of blood so that we can summon Azathyr. So the new buildings that I've built here are not within the sphere of influence of these lumberjacks, so it's a non-issue. I place them. If you are in the process of placing them where they will interfere, you'll actually see the percentage pop up, which is a really nice quality of life addition so that you can avoid interference.
Our work for our God.
Alright, taking a look.
For our God.
High Priest, summoning horrors will require followers we cannot afford to lose. Yet new arrivals come in small numbers due to the treacherous waters and mists.
so his eldest children may guide their path.
High Priest, ancient boulders and accursed debris bar the building site. Command your devoted to clear a path.
Okay. So it wants us to clear rubble.
High Priest, if the production of essential goods falters, contemplate constructing additional buildings dedicated to their creation. Relocate workers from lesser tasks to bolster these vital resources, even at the cost of other productions.
So basically, just allocate your labor where you need your labor most. So the ritual beacon altar site allows us to modify how many new followers arrive on the ships. And I need to clear the site before unlocking the building itself. You approach a commotion at the forest's edge. Your people bring forth a few emaciated figures, hunger gleaming in their eyes. As they catch sight of you, they prostrate themselves, heads pressed to the earth, hands raised in supplication. They speak in unfamiliar tongue. Your people seek to collect their blood, which is essential for summoning the horror. Well then. Left. Command your people to release them and guide them towards initiation into the cult. The weak may yet become strong, or right. Order the people to be bled dry. Those with whom you cannot communicate are no use to you, weak and insignificant. To gain 10 blood. Team Let 'em In wins. They're homeless, so I have to build them homes. Well, I don't have to, but I'd rather them employed.
The site for construction is ready. Erect a beacon altar to beckon more valiant souls towards the Dream Shroud, towards their new home.
Okay, the beacon altar costs 20 favor. I don't have that. I have 13. So let's carve another idol. And the new people are a robe maker, a sheep farmer,
Let us gather.
Worship
and another sheep farmer.
the Great One.
Got my favor, got my beacon altar, got it built. Unlike the other buildings, the beacon altar does not need a line of a path to it.
Let us gather.
So, the beacon ritual. Increasing the number of arrivals. The beacon altar allows you to increase the number of homeless followers arriving.
He will awaken.
In order to do it properly, we need to sacrifice robes, which I currently don't have manufactured. So, I'm going to wait on the beacon altar until I have the other island conquered, because I don't intend to make robes on this island. Well, actually, I don't intend to farm sheep on this island, but I suppose I can make robes on this island. So I'll put the robe maker down and start making robes, but I intend to move the corn plantation and the sheep farms over to the other island, which has bonuses to them. All right. So robe makers. Morwana Pim is the only one with a specialization, so the other two I'll just hire anyway.
We require workers.
And 5 more people just arrived, so let's get them to work. Is there an icon when the rituals are ready to go? I don't think so. You just have to check back in.
We obey.
We've got a lumber miller, a sheep farmer.
We obey.
I serve the deep.
Another robe maker, so I'm gonna switch out one of these guys for robe maker.
Deep. Our work for
We will be rewarded.
Another sheep farmer, like our 6th sheep farmer, and a corn cooker. So I'm gonna switch someone out of the corn cooking for the specialized corn cooker. We also have enough blood. Oh, and I have a faith income of at least 350 faith per minute, which I think unlocks... No, at 450 it unlocks new buildings. But we have enough blood to summon Azathir. So let's do that. Two sheep farmers getting exalted. Bye-bye now. Horror's decreasing health. The horror's health dwindles over time. When its health points are depleted, the horror perishes. Navigating the horror. To control a horror, select it and choose the direction, desired destination rather, with right mouse button. In order to collect materials from water, you can just have the horror move and pick them up. Conquer and pillage the inhabitants of Blacksand Island.
Mercy. From the unfathomable depths of the sea, our master's emissary has arisen.
Sea battle. To initiate a naval battle, select your horror and command it to attack by choosing an enemy ship with right mouse button. Time for you to die. Bye-bye. Can I queue orders for the horror? I don't believe so.
Now, our gaze turns to Blacksand Isle. Let us reclaim it from the unworthy.
So the tutorial wants me to reclaim Blacksand Isle over here. I'm on it.
We draw near to the foe, my high priest.
And of course, because it loses health over time, it's best to use them efficiently. Now, these guys are special resource called captives. So in destroying that ship, I got captives instead of like planks or corn or something, which is up here. And that will play a bigger role later on. Can it be healed? No. They're basically timed monstrosities that have finite life and need to be used well.
Now, we need only raise their dwellings, and our conquest will be complete.
Ooh, wow. I have 9 hit points. 8 hit points just under the wire there.
Command the plunder of this land, and seize it for our God. Oh, sweet day of triumph, my high priest.
And it's gone. Alright, we have a choice here. So, the settlement is yours. The infidels run frantically, the fires rage, and the screams turn the night into the most exquisite of operas. Your followers stand ready, waiting for your words, waiting for your guidance on what to do next. You think for a while and then decide. Left. Call the unworthy in the name of the god. Leave only a few most promising that could be of use to us. Have his name on your mouths when you dispose of the unfaithful. We'll gain 7 captives and 15 fanaticism. The middle option, focus on gathering as many unfaithful as possible. Spare no resources or effort. We will need them all. Gain 20 captives. Or the right option. It is time for a grand celebration. You will be rewarded for your efforts, my dear acolytes. I proclaim the time of the great orgy of the senses. Eat, drink, destroy, call them all in the name of our Lord, fulfill your desires. Gain 40 fanaticism, capture 1 captive. Basically, leave 1 survivor. Well, you guys are unexpectedly a little merciful, I suppose. You want to kill, like, half or less than half? Team Kill Them All is catching up in the polls, though. But nope, we'll call this one left. Blacksand Island. Claimed.
My High Priest, upon subduing our foes, the island unveiled its mysteries. There prominently stands the structure of our god. Yet something else catches my curiosity. What is it, I wonder?
Island effects. Each island is better or worse for some good productions. See the production conditions on the island, hovering over its name, take advantage of the right terrains to maximize production. So we are planning on moving our corn and sheep to this island instead.
Priest, I counsel the construction of a re-educator. We must illuminate the minds of the captives we have enslaved. Our cause is just, and they shall willingly embrace the truth once they have seen it.
So let's put some sheep down. Once there's space around the stockpile. That's why I'm clearing all of the ruins. And speaking of these ruins, all the plank ruins that I'm claiming, I might as well turn some of them into Eldritch Favor.
Teachings.
Are sheep people or are sheep sheep? In this case, they're actual sheep, not people sheep. There are people sheep, though. So, yeah, it's a valid question. And then I also said that I wanted to put the corn plantations here. I'll put one there as well. And for that, we're going to need to move at least 4 people to this island. 2 to work in the sheep farm and 2 into the corn plantation. Homeless people are shared between islands and turn into followers when moving into vacant housing. An employee can only work on one island their house is placed in. This is a mechanic that I find less than ideal, but I'll show you in a minute. It is also worth maybe putting the Eldritch Temple down now, so that I can sort of design a efficient housing system around it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oblivion.
We require...
So I don't currently have any homeless people. There might be a better way to do what I'm about to do, which is to relocate workers to the second island. I don't know of a better way, so I'll just show the only way I know how. But I'm going to wait until these houses are built. And the game wants me to build a re-educator, which is this thing. The re-educator...
High Priest, the expansion of your cult demands additional materials. There is a sandstone deposit on the island. We should exploit it by the hands of your faithful.
So the re-educator requires sandstone masonry. So not only do we need the re-educator, but we're going to need a sandstone quarry and a stonemason. So the island's rare resources. Islands can hold unique resource nodes. Use them to construct more complex buildings and develop your cult. So at Blacksand Island, it has sandstone, raw iron, and coal. And at Dreamshout, it has raw iron and sand. So if I wanted sandstone, I can only really get it on this island, and it can only be obtained at this resource node. There we go. Get that built. And it's obviously going to require some more houses, so I'll be relocating more than just 4 people to this island. In fact, let's delete this road here. Are resources infinite? Yes, in the quarry they are infinite. Same with like clams or corn plantations, resources aren't finite. So this employs up to 5. I don't think I'm going to put all of the... I'm not going to fill it. I'll probably just put 4 in there. So we'll get the rest of these houses built and then employ people in this new region. Hey, we hit our first level of fanaticism. So if we take a look at the followers waves, as you'll see, the fanaticism increases our followers by 1. So instead of getting 5, we get 6. Now, we are about to actually get a follower wave in 30 seconds, which is kind of annoying. So I want to do this next part as fast as possible. So the way I want to move people over is I'm going to select my sheep farm here and then click on the individual people that are working in it and destroy their houses. And what's going to end up happening here is they're going to go to the next available house to be moved into, which... So essentially, I want to not have enough houses for everybody on my primary island so that they start moving over to the other island. The other way to do is to look at the households too. So like if I click here and select, because there was a free house for Calpurnia, and there was a free house because I sacrificed 2 to make that horror. So I'm going to destroy this extra house. So Calpurnia lives in this house. Destroy her house here. And destroy Ambrosia's house as well. And as a result of them not having houses on this first island, they have subsequently moved into these 2 houses on the second island, allowing them to work in the sheep farm. And this sheep farm has a bonus island effect. So they will work in the sheep farm and produce 25% more because of that bonus. Alright, next is the corn farmers. And then subsequently I want to destroy the sheep farm over here to refund the resources I invested in it. So doing the same thing for Orson and so for whatever her name is, Sophania or whatever, to move them over to the new island as well.
I serve the deep.
All right, done. Now, the cornfield needs... I need to actually plant the corn. There we go. And we'll get them deployed over here instead. For another 25% bonus. And then the last one is the quarry. So I'm going to go over to the first island. And I am looking for stone miners that are currently employed doing things... Well, here, I can sort it like this. So this is a stonemason. It's not someone that actually does the mining. So no one in my current roster has the correct the correct occupation. So I'm just going to wait for the next wave of followers. I have no available housing in my starting Dream Shroud, which means the 4 of the 6 followers, and actually let's make it 5 of the 6. 5 of the 6 followers will settle here at Blacksand Island and become stone miners. And then the 6th person will settle back on the first island and become a stonemason. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my stonemason on my first island. So we're going to ship in the raw stone, and the mason will tend it on the first island. So the stonemason doesn't have to be on the same island. You would only ever be incentivized to put it on the same island if there was some sort of bonus. Okay, 6 has arrived. All 6 are housed. Switching back over here. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, some of these people, the corn cooker and the clam collector, like, they might be better suited doing corn cooking and clam collecting on the primary island. But this is where I said before that trying to match everyone's specializations perfectly is honestly more effort than it's worth. Plus, like, human lives in this game are really short. You sacrifice them regularly, so it doesn't really matter in the long run, which is why I don't bother doing it. Unless it's like a workplace that needs to be efficient. Which is to say, in this case, I can ignore it. And then on the second island, the stonemason is done. We did have one stonemason working as a lumberjack, so I'm going to change him and put him in as stonemason. And then... given that I have so much wood, I'm actually going to shut down this second lumberjack entirely.
Our work.
As far as rope making goes, I'm going to move some people around so that we have more rope makers that have the passion of road making, and then put the rest into stonemasonry. So I have 4 stonemasons. Now, if you really wanted to, and I'm sure this is off cooldown, we can carve up someone working in the stonemason or robe maker. Actually, I'm going to carve someone up working in the robe maker to make them better robe makers. So Barnabas here is going to get chopped up a bit. Robe making, small on your back. Got it. Did I get it? I did. Perfect.
We obey.
Let's see. The next thing that it wants me to do is to build the re-educator, and that requires sandstone bricks. So we just have to wait a little bit of time in order to get that. Now, the other thing I can do is the beacon ritual. And the current beacon ritual, the cheap version of it, I think I can afford to run. There we go. So sacrificing these extra things will provide 4 more homeless next wave than before. And that will satisfy this quest up here. Thank you for tuning in to Worshippers of Cthulhu, which originally streamed live on Twitch October 22nd. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow cultists.